Yo, big shout out to Galvanized Gaming for sponsoring me and believing in me to be taken to the next level. And pretty much what it is it's a grip company. And if you're interested, the link will be down in the description. Use discount code PRISM to get a discount on your purchase. What's going on, guys? It's Prism here. Come back with a new video. Figured out that you guys, want some new content, some other content rather than seeing fucking montages all day. So I was like, I bet I got y'all. So I'm gonna be starting a new series called Storytime series, where I'm just gonna, tell stories of what happened about my life, growing up as a young bull, in Florida and whatnot. Da 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 da. But anyway, the story's gonna be about, how I actually, got caught up at my ex's house. Like I snuck in her house and things didn't work out. I'll tell you later on in the story, I'll get to it, you feel me? But let me go ahead and start it off. I'm just playing some Rainbow here, enjoy the gameplay, but we're really here for the story. So don't, mind the gameplay. Probably get my shit slapped. But anyways, so there was this one day where I used to be in, this was back in like middle school. This is like I think 7th or 8th grade. And I'm sitting here in class. I had a girlfriend at the time. I'm not gonna say no names, but you know who she is. 7th, 8th grade. And I was sitting in class, and she was like, what if come over one time? My parents don't be home in the morning. So I'm like, I bet. So let me tell you where I stayed, or like how far the distance was. The distance was like, I want to say, all right, by car it was like 10 minutes, but it was like probably like 35-40 minutes walking. And on this day I intentionally missed the bus so I could like walk to her house, because there was one time where I missed the bus and I walked by her house and I still made it before school. And let me mind you, like middle school doesn't start until I think like 8:30, 8:45 ish. I'm not really sure. I haven't fucking been in middle school for goddamn a whole bunch. But pretty sure it started around that time. So I woke up early, and my parents, they went off to work, and so it was like me home alone. So like occasionally, like my routine was to wake up, play some PS3, and then go catch the bus. Like a normal kid should. That's probably what some kids do. That's probably still their routine. But there's one day where he was like, "Oh, come over," and I was like, "All right, bet." And the first time, let me tell you about the first time. The first time went smooth. I missed the bus on purpose. I saw it leave. Then, boom, started walking right away to her house. Then get there in about like 30 minutes. Because it wasn't a far walk. It was just like a straight shot straight down the road. I lived in like a city, so like it was a straight shot down the city sidewalk, literally. I'd get to her house. I was like in her neighborhood. And she stayed, keyword, well, not keyword, but key input here. She lived 5 minutes walking from the school. Like, she lived right by the school. So there was really no, like, big deal if she, walked to school. Because that's what, she used to do. Pretty much, I walked there in about 30 minutes. And, I get there, and she's like, "Oh, hi, what's up?" We laid up in bed, fucking just chilling, watching Netflix and shit before school started. And that was the first time. It went pretty smooth. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it again. And then the second time, well, let me tell you, I didn't notice her. Like, as soon as she texted me that her mom left, her mom was at her stop sign for like 5 minutes, and I was just trying to avoid making eye contact because I'm pretty sure she showed a picture of who I was. And this is pretty much how I got caught up. I was like trying to avoid eye contact with her mom. Her mom, like, imagine there's a stop sign and her mom's at the stop sign, and I'm across the street waiting to cross over because she lived on the other side of the road. And I was waiting to cross over on the sidewalk, and I'm sitting here looking left and right, probably looking all suspicious and shit. And literally, like, made eye contact, and then I looked off, and I didn't think much of it because, she pulled out, she made her turn, and just went on her merry way. So I didn't think much of it. And So that's where, key flag number one. I probably should have waited like a couple weeks, couple days, rather than going over there the next day. So let me mind you, the first day went smooth. We still made it to school on time. We just chilled. But the second time, the day after, is when it just went downhill. Um, so I do the same thing. I intentionally miss the bus, and I start walking. And her dad doesn't. She's texting me that her dad's not leaving right away. Like he's gonna be late to work. I'm just like, oh, all right, cool. Like by the time I get there, probably when he'll be probably gone. And how you call it? He leaves late, and he just left. Like when I'm walking up to her house, and she lives in a neighborhood where she lives on the second street. So I had to walk past the first street to get to her house, obviously. And I didn't know what her car, like what her dad's car was, so I was being like, I guess you could say ignorant, because I didn't know. But turns out he was sitting on the first street, like by somebody's house to kind of blend in. And I walk right past him, like walk right past that street, go to her house. And I'm in her house. I put my slides down at the door, and I put my backpack and stuff down, and we went to the room, and we're just like watching TV, and like, doing typical teenage shit. Just watching TV and shit, like enjoying each other's time, because damn well, like, you can't really, like, we don't have the schedule where we can just go see each other every day, other than school. But yeah, I'm in her house, I'm just chilling, and then she hears like a knock at the door. She's like, what the heck? And I'm just like, wow, that's when my heart like dropped, because I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. And she hears a knock on the door, goes to open her door, and it's her dad. Like I hear him snapping like full on, oh, da 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 da, where's he at, bud? I am fucking petrified, yo. Her bed, it was like a twin size bed. And mind you, like I'm 6'4". A lot of you might have not like known that and stuff, but I'm 6'4". So if I hid under her bed, my my feet would dangle off. And not only that, there was stuff under her bed, so I really had no place to hide. And her closet was full, so I couldn't hide in the closet. Like there's just clothes on clothes. Like I couldn't get in the closet. And let me mind you, this dude is in the house, like trying to come past her and come in the room. And I'm just like, nigga, hurry up, and find a place to fucking hide. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm panicking, like I'm taking deep breaths. I'm like, oh shit. And let me mind you, like this happened in all like 30 seconds. Like it was so fast. And the best hiding spot was literally behind her door. And I hid behind her door, and the door was kind of like cracked. And I'm behind the door, and he comes in the room. He opens up the door, and he hits me with it. So I made contact with the door. I was just like, ah, shit. Like, it's a natural instinct to be like, ow, that fucking hurt. And he sat me down. Well, first he yelled at me. He was like, what the fuck are you doing in my house? Da 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 da. I was just like, oh, we're just hanging out. And he takes me to the living room, sits me down, asks me like a whole bunch of questions. Oh, where's your mom at? Da 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 da. Like, why are you in my house? Why? Like, who are you? And I was just like, I'm her boyfriend, and I'm just chilling before school. Pretty much telling him like this whole story, like this whole spiel of like bullshit. And he makes me write my like mom's number down, but I'm smarter than him. So I turned off my phone real quick, and I put down the number, and he tries to call it, and I was like, oh, my mom's at work, she's not gonna be answering your phone calls. And he was like, oh, okay. And he makes me write down my address. I wrote down like the neighborhood next to me's address, and it was just bad. It was really bad. but he was like, oh, you guys gotta break up, blah 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 blah, being like, you know, a protective, overprotective father. But I mean, I get it, because I probably would have did the same shit. It probably would have ended well if I was a parent. But he sends me off, and he's just like, you know, just get out, go to school, and he pretty much forces us to break up, I guess you could say that. And but I walk to school, and I'm there before school starts. So I have to go to this thing called, like, I think it was like the early bird program or some shit. I don't know, some bullshit. And I was just like sitting there waiting until, like, there's two locations at my school. There's something called the field, and, like, you know, every high school and middle school has like breakfast where everybody goes. So I went to the field, and I'm just waiting for her to like get here, and I see her like walking towards school, because like she literally stays right down the street, and she's walking towards school. And she gets to school, and she comes up to me. She just starts like crying her eyes out. It was like, oh, we had to break up, blah 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 blah. And literally, I mean, the relationship was saved. I just had to talk to the dad, like, on the phone, and save the relationship. But it was really fucking awkward. Like, whenever, like, in the past after that, like, every time we hung out, like, I came over or she came over, it was really fucking awkward. Like, I just felt like this I don't know how you call it, like this feeling of like, oh, this nigga hates me. But I'd hate me too, so I guess you could say can't blame him. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say everything was well after that. There was a lot of trust issues and barriers that, you know, he wouldn't allow. Like, the mom was all down for it. The mom was cool. The mom was like, oh, I mean, you know, I did the same thing back in my day, so why does it matter? Like, it's normal. And that's why I like the mom so much. The dad was pretty much an asshole, trying to, you know, make things 10 times harder on me. You know, I'm just a young nigga trying to catch a nut. Let me stop. But yeah, everything went smoothly after that. We hung out. We still, you know, went to each other's houses. But it did take a little time. I'm not gonna lie. It took like 2-3 months after the incident to really, you know, be him to accept me. But in the end, he accepted me, and it was cool. So yeah, that's the story time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't already, hit yourself with a wet noodle or a big piece of meat. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. My city need me. See ya. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. You fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up, open the park pot.